What's up? And welcome to Cry Wolf, the show where we love werewolves. Some say a little too much. Anyway, I'm TJ, and this hairy fella next to me is Kane. Whether it's books, movies, games, any form of media, it's got werewolves in it, we're talking about it. But we don't shy away from creature features either. If it's got fangs and claws, we're covering it. Monsters are kind of our thing.
Cookie! Nom, nom, nom. Oh, nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, well, as a werewolf, I'm more qualified than anyone here.
Well, yeah. You're like our, monster specialist.
Don't say that again.
Before we get things started, we'd like to kindly ask that you like this video. And if what we cover on the channel fits your fancy, consider subscribing. You ready for this?
No, I didn't think you were actually serious.
Of course. Now shape up. The audience awaits.
Shape up? You little. You are so lucky I ate before we got here.
Trust me. Come on.
Remind me again why we're even doing this.
Well, with the previous release of The Wolfman 2025, and with the upcoming film Werewolf directed by Robert Eggers, I thought it necessary to set certain expectations. I know every film is unique and each director has their own vision, but I don't want us to forget the fundamentals that we, the audience, should be presented with films like these. So, what makes a good or even great werewolf film?
Here we go.
Personally, I like to think that there are a few rules of thumb every Lycan film should follow. Come to think of it, every creature film for that matter. Now, of course, this is up for interpretation, and what I'm about to go over can easily be considered a matter of opinion. But I do believe that by the end of this, you guys may agree with some or all of our choices. All right. Kay, what are you doing?
I'm meditating.
Okay. Why?
I joined up with a few buddies yesterday for our weekly meetings. The Brotherhood of the Wolf. Anyway, the goal is to do some inner soul searching. Ponder on the wolf you're truly meant to be.
Weekly meetings? Either this is some support group or some kind of werewolf cult.
It's not a support group.
How do you know?
The Brotherhood motto is, wolves lead, sheep follow. What?
First, in order for this to be completely reasonable, we have to set some guidelines. Now, I know that the werewolf is a classic monster placed within the subgenre of horror. They'll usually be roped in with vampires, zombies, and lagoon creatures alike, and rightfully so. But I believe it's fair to place them and all the others mentioned underneath the category of creature feature. Google defines creature feature as a non-human, monstrous, or animalistic antagonist. These films often involve a creature posing a threat to human characters, blending horror and science fiction elements, and focusing on the creature's physicality and design. Essentially, a horror film centered around the beast or monster, often with a strong emphasis on the creature's appearance and how it interacts with the human characters.
If interact means eat, then yeah, sounds fair.
I know that werewolves tend to have a human origin before becoming the full moon assassins they are, but I would argue that they still fall under this umbrella. They may start off human, but after one bite, they become something else entirely. Think of the 1986 film, The Fly, starts off as a human, but one little unwanted pest later, and soon the lead protagonist is anything but. It's true that werewolves, vampires, and zombies are huge properties that have a category all to themselves, but I still believe that they can exist in both.
Whatever.
These are 5 things a werewolf or monster film needs to have. Now, these are in no particular order and are equally important in my opinion. And if there's any other points we may have missed, be sure to fire off in the comments below. Number 1. Story. Now, I know you don't need much to have a reason for a monstrous beast to go around chomping on unsuspecting victims. But this is what separates the good from the great. I'm all for a quick B-movie plot to just entertain me in the most basic way possible. But when a story goes deeper, say, highlighting vulnerability, or isolation, and fear of the unknown, it gives a multi-layer quality to films that have been criticized as flicks you watch to turn your brain off. In the 2022 film, The Cursed, greed and prejudice set off horrific events that plague a family. From haunted nightmares, a creepy scarecrow, and uniquely designed werewolves. It's a monster flick that's in a league of its own story-wise.
The werewolves in that movie were different. You know, we got a guy who comes to our meetings regularly that's losing all his fur. Claims it's stress. But I'm thinking, pyoderma.
You guys all sit around the circle and introduce yourselves out loud.
How else are we going to recognize who's talking?
And this hairless fellow's name?
Ted, or Phil, or something. What?
Number 2. Good human characters. Now, I'm not asking for Oscar-worthy performances involving deep character development. No, I'm just asking them to be good enough to sell me on why their current predicament is so dire.
What's the point? They're gonna die anyway.
The point is that while a werewolf isn't on screen, they have to carry the rest of the movie. In that time, they need to convince us that their lives mean something. And not just when they're fighting for it trying to survive, but even before the horrific events unfold. What life did they have before the moon unleashed its hunter? Is our monster a loved one that they would do anything to find a cure for? And are they individuals worthy enough to continue breathing, even after the credits roll?
I don't look that deep. They all look like snacks to me.
But that's my point. Those extra layers can make a difference. They're either characters you care about, or a bunch of stupid teenagers who wandered into the wrong house.
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah.
Number 3. Werewolf design. Now this is my personal favorite. No 2 werewolves are the same, and I love seeing what the costume designer and director come up with. A well-designed monster makes the movie stand out from all others. After all, it is the face of horror that our human characters are going to see. I look at it this way. If the audience doesn't find your monster scary, then why should the rest of the cast? It really can make or break a film. And if done poorly, when the screaming and running start, it's not going to look scary. It's going to look silly.
What's silly is the stupid robes we gotta wear to each meeting. Cotton over fur is so uncomfortable. Would you?
Number 4. Specifically, practical effects over CGI.
Amen to that.
I'm not saying I don't like CGI in my films. When used appropriately, it can elevate the filming experience. Underworld is a great example. Suits and prosthetics were used for all the likeness as a whole, and this method displayed the realistic detail of the wolves. On the other hand, CGI worked great in displaying what the beasts were truly capable of.
Yeah, but as the series continued, they relied on CGI a bit too much. I'll still never forgive them for what they did to us in Blood Wars.
Oh, yeah. But practical is still the way to go. I'm glad to see that a lot more recent films haven't completely abandoned it. Personally, I like a blend of both. Makes for a complete package. Too much CGI, and you get American Werewolf in Paris. Spotty effects and dull scenes. Overused practical effects, and you get American Werewolf in London. A classic and staple for the time, but a little werewolf exposure and limited monster capability.
Your opinion. And it's dumb.
And last, but certainly not least, number 5. A compelling transformation. The staple of any werewolf film. This is a must-have. And I'm not talking about off-screen blink and you'll miss the transformation either. This scene should be the highlight to all movies in this genre. Also, a werewolf transformation should show more than just the grotesque metamorphosis from human to beast. When the acting is on point, we should see a strong human-to-wolf conflict, a psychological struggle, and accepting the lycanthropy befallen on the individual, or in the case of a villain, a welcoming of it.
I'm sure you have an example.
2010's The Wolfman. If you look closely at the character of Lawrence, you'll notice that throughout the movie, he tenses up whenever the full moon reveals itself. This is superb acting by Benicio del Toro. It conveys to the audience that Lawrence wants to resist the curse that has befallen him. The tight tensing of his body is his attempt at trying to hold back the beast within. In contrast, we have the 1981 film The Howling. The serial killer Eddie Quist, played by the amazing Robert Picardo, is completely relaxed and poised, accepting his inner demon and put on a show of sorts for his petrified victim.
Word of advice. It's always better when you accept it.
But do you see? Multiple layers.
Yeah, I agree. Now can we wrap this up? I'm gonna be late. Ted is receiving his first good boy chip for going a month without ripping his fur out. In his honor, we're sacrificing a lamb during the full moon tonight.
The support group. Anyway, that'll do it for us, guys. What did you think of our 5 points? Do you agree or disagree? And what else do you think a werewolf film should have? Let us know. Until the next full moon.
Wolves lead, sheep follow.